brief video here about the creation account in the book of Genesis relating to the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve, and the fall of man. And some of this scenery here is very familiar to a lot of people, and I just want to see what you remember. This picture here is depicting the guardians who are preventing Adam and Eve from returning to the Garden of Eden after the fall of man. So what do you see? It looks like two angels holding a bright sword. Okay, let's keep flipping through some of these images of what people are depicting as just this common scenery that we should come to mind when you think about what you read in the Bible about this part of the story. Okay, there's a single angel, kind of a glowing sword in the angel's hand, an angel with a flaming sword. Not sure exactly what are these creatures here guarding the Garden of Eden. We'll find out more later. Okay, an angel, a flaming sword, two angel-looking creatures, not really sure what they are, holding a glowing sword together. It looks like both their hands on the same sword. Okay, an angel here, no weapon in hand, just the angel. A glowing angel and a flaming sword. Angel and sword. Several angels, and they appear to be female, holding, I'm not even sure what they are. I think they're swords. An angel with a sword. Angel with a flaming sword. Angel with a flaming sword. Same thing. Okay. Two looks like angels, and the sword, what's the sword doing? It's like independent, just kind of floating there. Looks like it might be spinning or something. So what's going on here? What does the Bible say is guarding the Garden of Eden from, preventing Adam and Eve from returning to the garden? Angel with a sword, angel with a sword. I'm going to tell you right now, that's what I remember. An angel with a flaming sword. Once again, two angels and a floating sword. Two angels and a floating flaming sword. So what is it? What do you remember? Angel with a sword. Now this is interesting. It's just a sword. No angels. Just a sword floating in the air, guarding the Garden of Eden. Strange. Now I'm going to go right here into the residue of what I remember, and this is a Google book search where people are mentioning an angel with a flaming sword. That would indicate that there's a single angel holding a sword in their hand, guarding the way to the tree of life. The angel with a flaming sword, angel with a flaming sword. There are countless hits for this phrase being associated with this passage in the Bible, with the reference. So that's what people are drawing in these pictures. That's what people remember from these books. So what does the Bible actually say? Genesis 3:24. And he drove the man out. He placed on the east side of the Garden of Eden cherubim and a flaming sword flashing back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life. Okay, well, cherubim aren't necessarily angels, not as clear as that term. Certainly not what people are writing in the book residue that I wrote. But all references now, all translations say cherubim. And the flaming sword, what is it doing? It's not being held. It's flashing back and forth. A flaming sword flashed back and forth, turned every way, whirling sword of flame. And the King James Bible says cherubims, so that would be plural, and a flaming sword, which turned every way. So it's not a single angel holding a flame. So my question is, what do you remember? Are you familiar with this passage in the Bible? Who or what was guarding the entrance to the Garden of Eden and the tree of life? Was it a single angel? Was it multiple angels? Were they holding a sword? Was the sword independent, flashing and whirling about? I just remember a single angel holding a sword, guarding the way. And I'm almost curious now if there's another version of reality where there are no angels or cherubim, just a flaming sword. Because I saw some other pictures. I couldn't find all my residue, all the pictures that I wanted to provide here, but indicating that some people might just remember just a flaming sword. No angels or cherubim guarding the way. So I'm curious what people remember from this. What's the consensus here? Is this a change? What do you remember? And here is what Google says about what cherubim are in the Bible. Cherubim are winged celestial beings that serve God as guardians, throne bearers, and worshipers. They appear in the Bible over 90 times, most often in the Hebrew Bible. So here's a picture. They're not necessarily depicted as humanoid, winged creatures. So you saw that one image where it looked kind of like they had lion heads and were holding torches. And there's some others that depict them as kind of like these kind of blocky, geometric-looking figures with wings. And we're hearing more about cherubim these days, too. What are they? All right, I'm going to go ahead and cover a few more things that people have noticed changing in the book of Genesis in the creation account. First of all, the very first verse in the Bible, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. That's what I remember. It's now just heaven, singular. So a lot of people are pointing out that to be a clear change to the Bible, and I would agree. Also, this is just bonkers. What the King James says about, the beginning mentioning of Eve. What was Adam in need of that God decided to create Eve? Well, let's listen to the NIV.
Lord God said, "It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him."
All right, so you heard that verse. It's not good for a man to be alone. I'll make a helper suitable for him. That's what I remember. A helper. Let's listen to the King James.
It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him. And out of the ground the Lord.
What? Did you hear that?
What formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see.
And it's repeated here. We'll get through this next verse and listen to it again. The same term is repeated.
To the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. And Adam gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found an helpmeet for him.
Unhelp meet for him? What does that even mean? Is that even English? This is just a clear Mad Lib style change to the Bible. I mean, people should read this and just say, what? Something is wrong here. My Bible is broken. Yeah, a helper suitable. That was the term that's in most other Bibles, and that's apparently what this means. Unhelp meet means a helper. Meet supposedly means suitable, which you see this word meet all over the Bible now, and that's what it means, suitable. It was not meet for man to be alone. Suitable. It wasn't suitable. Meet? I've never heard of this word before in my entire life. So this is bonkers. This is bananas. People should see wording like this and instantly recognize that something is wrong. All right, now I'm going to move on to another verse where God curses the snake for deceiving Eve and Adam into biting the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil. So he says, "Cursed are you," talking to the snake, "above all livestock and all wild animals." This is the NIV version. Livestock? Okay, Living Version. "You are more cursed than all animals." Okay, that sounds familiar to me, but the word animals is hardly mentioned in most all Bible versions. They say livestock. And the King James, "And the Lord God said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field." Cattle? Snakes are equated among the category of cattle? What? This is crazy. It was not cattle. To me, this is just another clear Mad Lib style change to the Bible. And here's where I really should have another picture depicting a snake slithering along with a herd of cattle, because that's the imagery that should come to mind here. A bunch of bovine and a snake that's cursed among them. Not right. And another verse that I think is important to mention here is Genesis 3:15. And after God curses the snake, he says this, "And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel." That's what I remember. This is from the NIV. This is what I remember this verse to read as. Talking about the offspring of Eve, specifically Jesus, who's, going to crush Satan, when he comes to earth, and, with his death on the cross, that would be, Satan striking back, striking his heel. So that's what I remember. Well, let's look at the King James, because this is the version that's changing the most. Look at this, the highlighted version. "It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel." It? Why the gender neutral pronoun here? It's he shall bruise thy head, not it. And if you're going to be gender neutral, why continue on to say his heel? This is crazy. Now, let's look at some other Bible versions. And I'm not sure if you remember me mentioning this before, but the Catholic versions are really getting messed with, in my opinion. The Dewey Rhymes, Catholic translation. "She shall crush thy head, and thou shalt lie in wait for her heel." Catholic Public Domain version. "She will crush your head, and you will lie in wait for her heel." Now, this isn't some new modern translation. These are old Bibles. This has been around for a long time, this wording. Why would they use female pronouns referring to Jesus or the offspring of Eve? What female is going to come and crush the head of Satan? Supposedly, they're talking about Mother Mary, who bears Jesus, and she's the one who's crushing the head of the snake. And the snake is the one striking her heel, which doesn't make as much sense, because the act of striking the heel was, the crucifixion, from what I understand. This is not right. This is a clear Mandela effect Bible change, in my opinion. So that's it. This is just a brief highlight of some of the major Mandela effect Bible changes that are in the creation story right in the beginning of the Bible. And I'm sure I haven't mentioned all of them. There's probably some other less prominent changes as well. Just on top of the wording, just a lot of the verses seem to be rewritten in ways, in subtle ways, that you're not going to recognize instantly unless you're very familiar with each verse of the Bible. But pay attention to this, because we might be coming back and revisiting these stories again later with even more changes, because I'm seeing changes continuing to occur. These verses are continuing to change. So once again, let me know what you think about this. Does any of this stand out to you as clear and obvious changes to the Bible that you have a clear memory of how something once went and now it's completely different? Is any of this new to you? Yeah, let me know in the comments. And likes, shares, subscribes, all that help me out a lot to do more of these videos. So thanks a lot. Talk to you next time.